Greetings metalheads and welcome to No Nonsense Metal Reviews with me, George. Today I'm taking a look at the wonderful new album from party thrashers, all-round enjoyable band, Municipal Waste, with their excellent new album, Electrified Brain. Awesome cover there, totally metal as hell. This is a mighty fine album. If you're not familiar with the band, a very brief 5-second bit of research on the Metal Encyclopedia tells us that these thrashers from Richmond, Virginia, USA have been around since the early 2000s, and this is their 7th studio album. They've been working away quite hard over the years and gained themselves quite a reputation as being an all-round fun band, with quite a catalogue to go with it. So this album is, I really enjoy it. It's start to finish thrash with a decent injection of other little elements just to keep things interesting so it doesn't get boring. No second of this wonderful album is boring. It's just highly enjoyable thrash with an edge. So I really like the fact that this album clocks in at just over half an hour long, just over 30 minutes long. A really good length of time, containing 14 tracks. So none are particularly long. I think the longest is just over 3 minutes. But it's just good fun. It's easy listening, enjoyable, but really good. These guys are great musicians. It's thrashing as hell, guaranteed to appease any Anthrax or MOD fan out there, or Slayer fan. It ticks the right boxes. In the band we've got, probably won't be able to read the font on the back there, not with the dodgy camera clarity there anyway, but we've got Tony Forrester on vocals, Ryan Waste, I doubt that's his actual name, on guitars and backing vocals, Nick Paulos on lead, Landfill, bass and vocals, and Dave Whitty, or White, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, on drums. Got a couple of guest contributions there as well. But all round, really good album, really well produced, great musicianship. Taking a look at some of the tracks. I don't know if you can see, I don't want to blind you with glare, but awesome back artwork there, really good. Ticks the boxes again. Artwork's very important. Great cover, great back art as well. Kicking the album off in a great thrashy way, we've got Electrified Brain, the title track. Really good, crunchy number, full of riffs. Easy to listen to. In a way, it's not overly technical. It's not, don't expect any acoustic or symphonic passages here, or any deep, complex, technical, crazy time signatures. It's all thrashing and easy to just head bang along to, throw a fist and drink a beer to. Easy. Demoralizer is a great number. Just going to pick out a few highlights here anyway, but Demoralizer is a really good number because it's a really crunchy, crushing number. It's got leads and solos in there that Kerry King and the late Jeff Hanneman would be absolutely proud of. Great musicianship in there. Really blinding stuff. Definitely a thrasher. Last Cruel and Grave Dive follow on there, and they've got a definite more crossover edge to them. I don't always understand what people mean when they say crossover. I'm pretty sure I qualify as someone who understands heavy music, but crossover I think gets banded around quite a lot, almost too much, because crossover, it seems to be referred to as hardcore thrash, punk, with other elements, Black Death. What are we crossing here? We're going to say crossover because it's definitely a punky. It's got a punk edge. There's a bit of a punk nature to quite a few of these tracks, but it's still thrash. It's got a thrash spine. It's a thrash attack with some other elements, like I say, keeping it interesting. Talking of keeping it interesting, High Speed Steel, and later in the album we've got Restless and Wicked. Two really great standout tracks, in my opinion, because they've got a real speed metal sort of nature to them. They're still heavy, they're still fast, but they've got plenty of melody there. They've got a real head-banging rhythm there. It's great. It's really good stuff, but it keeps it interesting because it's not just an absolute blinding riff fest that would shatter your neck, give you whiplash. You've got great, headbang along to stuff there. Thermonuclear Protection is another really good one. Again, it's got a bit of an array of styles thrown in there. It's a thrasher, yes. You've got speed metal angle in there as well, but it's quite a hardcore number. It's got it. It's got its melody. If you know what I mean by melody and thrash, it's got it. Blood Vessel, Boat Jail. That's one song title. Probably might not be able to pick it out there. Track number 8. Blood Vessel, Boat Jail is almost a sort of a punk grinding thrasher. A song of two halves, but it's a really good one. Again, there isn't any bad tracks on this album. It's just some have enough different elements or enough great crunchy thrashing riffs to really stand out, be something quite bold. And when you're trying to pick out tracks, standout tracks of an album that is very consistent and largely the same style, stylistically, it doesn't vary from thrash massively. Like I say, there's no symphonic numbers and there's no ballads here. Of course there isn't. This is just straight up thrash, which is what we want. Which is why we're listening to Municipal Waste. We want to listen to some thrash, have a good time, chug some beers probably, hopefully. 10-Cent Beer Night. That is the great sort of party track that we get here. Literally throw us back to the art of partying days, because it's just a humorous thrasher. Great musicianship, the riffs are crunchy. This is just riff-a-thon throughout, but it's a good one. Barreled Rage, another great one. Putting on Errors is a great standout moment in terms of taking on a grindcore punk edge, certainly assisted by guest vocals from Napalm Death's own Barney Greenway, who does an excellent job of supporting Tony there with some hard, punky attitude, some aggression there. It's great. It's a real good number. Paranormal Janitor. That's our closing track here, and I don't know how to fully explain this, but you must hear the track. You want to hear the whole album. It's a great album. It's a real thrasher. But it has a strangely sort of Merciful Fate, King Diamond sort of undertone to the track. Although, of course, not vocally, because you're not going to get the King's completely mental range of vocal capabilities there with absolute high shrieks and growls almost. Not talking about that. I'm talking about musically, instrumentally. There's a Merciful Fate hint. There's a hint of Merciful Fate in there. There's an undertone. And if you listen to it, I think you'll know what I mean. Either that, or maybe I'm going crazy. But to me, that's what I pick up. A little bit of an influence there, a little bit of a nod to the Fate. So, overall, what much more can you say about this wonderful album? This great, highly enjoyable album. No, it's not going to win any awards for reinventing thrash or reinventing the wheel or pushing musical boundaries into some unexplored new territory that's going to spark the birth of a new subgenre. No, it's not going to do that, but it's guaranteed to satisfy your tastes and your lust for some thrash. It's got it all there. It's a damn good album. Certainly keeps up the pace after previous efforts, Slime and Punishment and The Fatal Feast, but I feel that this album is actually It's a very streamlined album. It's very neat and tidy, but it's a thrasher. It's like chaos in a really well organised filing system, if that makes sense musically. So there you have it. Electrified Brain. If you haven't heard this, haven't got a copy, you need to get yourself a copy. Check it out, Spotify it, YouTube it, whatever. Crank it up nice and loud, headbang away, get the cut off on there, get some beers in, and just enjoy. It's an album to enjoy. And if you are a fan of, shall we say, Anthrax and Acid Rain and Slayer, whatever, if you just like a good bit of thrash, this will do it for you. This will tick those boxes. Hope you enjoyed. If you got any comments, let us know. What do you think of the album? I want to hear what other people think about this fine effort, what I consider to be a fine effort. If you like the video, feel free to like, subscribe if you want more reviews and more ramblings about all things metal and all things good and heavy. Check back soon. Take care, my friends. Stay metal.